morning and welcome once again to Perkins Online. A sad moment for us on this program. Not only for us who do the program, but I'm sure for you who listen to it. Battlebuck has migrated. He spent much of his life trying to help people to understand what was happening in their country and what needed to be done to put it right. I don't know how successful he was. I don't know how successful he was. But you know, immediate success isn't all. He probably is one of those inheritors of unfulfilled renown. He was a man of strong conscience and was led entirely by that conscience. He did and said what he considered right and was prepared to live with the consequences of it. And he stayed nowhere for the sake of staying, but only because that, in his view, was the right thing to do. I don't know, I strongly suspect that if his advice to the people of this country, his exposition of the realities of our economic situation had been adopted by more people in this country, the consequences for the country and for us all would have been immensely better. But he has done his job and he has gone his way. We're going to miss him. But that is the way it is, and we're going to have to try to get on without him. And in the process, try to remember his advice to us. Over the weekend, the Attorney General, I think on Friday, in the Senate, made what seemed a commitment to go the way that the Labour Party, led in this matter by Miss Dorothy Lightburn in the Senate, advocated for, if the government wished to leave the Privy Council, to abandon appeals to the Privy Council and install instead as our final court the Caribbean Court of Justice. They seem to have accepted, in the work, judging from the statements of the Attorney General, the need to go to an indicative referendum so that the people of Jamaica will have an opportunity to express their position on the issue of abandoning the Privy Council for the Caribbean Court of Justice. This is a very interesting matter that is being proposed, and a matter that is fraught with danger for the people of this country. It is clear that had the government been able to get away with it, they would have had no qualms whatever in imposing the Caribbean Court upon the people of this country as their final court, whatever their own thoughts on the matter. That was the position that the government took. And it was purely because there were elements in Jamaica, human rights groups, and the opposition Jamaica Labour Party, who took the matter to the courts and ultimately to the Privy Council, that the government was not able to succeed in doing that. Had it not been for the opposition of these groups, we would now have had the Caribbean Court as our final court, whatever you listening to this program and others of the people of Jamaica thought about it. The government did not give one damn as to what your thinking was on the matter. They passed the legislation and were going ahead on the basis that the Privy Council was not entrenched in the Constitution. And going that way, had that succeeded, then the Caribbean Court would not have been entrenched in the Constitution, and the government could have abandoned the Caribbean Court and replaced it with some other court, possibly a court on Old Hope Road. In the vicinity of Tangerine Place, and could have done that as often as it wished and found convenient. But there was this opposition, strong opposition, and the government had to give way. Now, it needs the cooperation of the Labour Party in order to do what it wants to do in passing legislation through Parliament. And it was prepared to go forward with that legislation but for the opposition determination that this should not be done without the Jamaican people being consulted. So they're going to have a referendum. They say after the general election, and that I suppose assumes that they will win the 5th term. Between now and that time, if there is such a referendum, the Jamaican people need to do some very serious thinking about this. The Jamaican people have needed to do some serious thinking about a lot of things and have tended not to do it. They vote for party, not for country. And they have not recognized that what is important to their well-being is not which political party is in office, but what that political party is able to do for Jamaica. Not for its members and supporters. For Jamaica. We take a break. We come back in a moment.
Workers in the light and power industry, the JPS Employees Co-op Credit Union is you and your family's best bet for attractive loans and investment options. The time by the JPS Employees Co-op Credit Union, your financial partner for life, is 10:16.
The local organizing committee for the ICC Cricket World Cup 2007 invites all residents, business operators, and special interest groups in the environs of Sabina Park to a public forum where transportation plans for the days when ICC CWC matches are played will be discussed. The public is invited to attend this very important forum. Jamaica Conference Center, 9 a.m., Wednesday, January 24.
Carby's Souvenir Discount Center and Craft Village for the finest Jamaican souvenirs and craft items, perfected by the island's most talented and skillful artists and craftsmen. Also available, Reggae Boys jerseys and accessories. Give a gift of Jamaican craft, 15% off 3 items. Conditions apply. Support Jamaican craft. Be Jamaican. Buy Jamaican. Carby's Souvenir Discount Center and Craft Village, Twin Gates Plaza, Concert Spring Road. Call 926-4065. You're listening to Perkins Online, the Thinking Person's Talk Show. Our phone numbers are 968-4901, 968-4902, 968-4903. Our local toll-free line is 1-888-991-4072. Or you may call our international toll-free line, courtesy of the People's Telecom of Jamaica Limited, winners of the prestigious Jamaica Milestone Award on 1-866-LINK-106. That's 1-866-5465-106. You can also log on and listen to Perkins Online live on the World Wide Web free at www.go-jamaica.com. Now back to Perkins Online on Power 106 FM.
Okay, thank you very much. We're back here online. When a party in power let us say they're building a road, the government is, and they employ not the best available contractor, but the one most favorable to the party. The likely consequence is that the work that is going to be done is not going to be as good as it could have been. We're going to get inferior work. And this man is going to be paid, not because he has done excellent work, but because he's a party man. And then 6 months or a year down the road, the road starts breaking down. And potholes start springing up all over it. And then the very same people who were saying how wonderful start complaining about the bad road them have to drive on. And not only that, when they have to spend money twice, where they might have spent money once, there are going to be other roads, rural roads, but people live on them. If they need to come out, they're going to have to use those roads, and those roads are going to be in appalling state because there's not going to be the money to do them. Right? So, political tribalism, tribalistic favoring of people is going to be costing you, the public of this country. So what we need is to think about what is best for Jamaica. And what is best for Jamaica is going to be best for me. And best for you. Right? If money is spent giving money to some contractor and 100 workers, and we don't get, the country does not get the benefit, then we are all going to suffer. So we must start thinking about Jamaica. We are all in it together. Now, back to this subject of the Constitution. We are going to be hearing, I'm sure, in the campaign leading up to the referendum, that we need to get rid of these last vestiges of colonialism. And we need to stop appealing to white man in London. We can't continue to rely on white man to give us justice. Problem is, of course, that the white man has tended to give us better justice than the black man. We have been hearing a lot of talk recently about the state of our justice system. We hear people on the roadside demonstrating and talking about we want justice. Usually in relation to some policeman shooting some person in their community. And the one thing that many of them feel certain about, even when they're saying that, they feel that they are not going to get justice. I wonder what the mother of Michael Gale would have to say about that. I wonder what the mother of Agana Barrett would have to say about that. And what about the mother of that little 13-year-old girl who was shot by a policeman in Trenchtown? What would she have to say about it? And what about that little girl who spoke, who gave evidence in the Crawl trial concerning the murder of her mother and her aunt and some other people in their circle. And there are countless others that want to talk about. What about those people who paid Ben Monroe for houses that they never got? I wonder what they are thinking. And what about those two men? I can't remember their names at the moment, but they were accused of robbing a bank in Spanish Town, I think, and in the process shooting a policeman dead, charged with murder, convicted. And it was not until the matter was taken to the Privy Council that the Privy Council, having heard evidence, called for the video. It was well known that there were video cameras on the scene. Privy Council asked to see the video, and when they saw the video, discovered that the men there were 4 men supposed to be robbing this place, and neither of the 2 men before the court was among them. What we want is justice. What we want is justice. And it is not only of some importance, but it is of fundamental importance that justice should not only be done, but that it should manifestly and undoubtedly be seen to be done. And is that happening in Jamaica today? Is justice manifestly and undoubtedly seen to be done? And are the people of this country confident that justice is theirs? Well, what has the government done to secure justice for the people of Jamaica? This government in particular. It has been in office longer than any other government in the modern history of Jamaica. 18 years in office. What has it done? What has it done to secure the human rights of the Jamaican people? When Sister P was being sworn in as Prime Minister, she made a speech which, let me tell you something, I was impressed with. Her first commitment to the Jamaican people was to correct the injustices that were being done in violation of the human rights of the Jamaican citizen. She has been in office now since the beginning of April. 9, coming up to 10 months. What one single thing has she done in this respect? What? What interest does the government of Jamaica have in protecting, in securing the human rights of the Jamaican people and in ensuring the availability of justice to them. What? And why then should you be trusting these people to carry out so radical a reform of the Jamaican justice system, when there are other problems related to that justice system that need to be dealt with? The issue, for example, of the appointment of judges. We take a break, we come back in a moment.
Ideal Finance Corporation, 17 Ripon Road, Kingston 5, offers competitive interest rates on your investments and attractive foreign exchange rates. Call 960-639-024. The time by Ideal Finance Corporation is 10:30.
Daily chat with B-Mobile. Free to chat for 3 hours. Talk away. 9 to midnight, Monday to Thursday. Just chat. B-Mobile Daily Chat.
The latest blockbuster from B-Mobile is here. Daily Chat. The story of free local talk time. B-Mobile to B-Mobile and B-Mobile to Cable and Wireless Jamaica fixed lines. Prepaid customers top up $150 or more Monday to Thursday before 9 p.m. and talk free from 9 p.m. to midnight that same day.
9 to midnight, Monday to Thursday. Just chat
For free!
B-Mobile Daily Chat.
B-Mobile. It feels good. Details of the press conditions apply.
Like the music, JADEP is just for us. To be a member of JADEP, the Jamaica Drugs for the Elderly program, you've got to be over 60 years of age. Sorry, all you youngsters out there, you've got to wait your time. For the rest of us, JADEP is just for us, and it means free prescription drugs and a small pharmacy fee. JADEP is a benefit of the National Health Fund, so you know it's good. JADEP, just for us.
The Consumer Affairs Commission with the Consumer Protection Act is able to represent you, even in a court of law.
Whether you are buy or whether you are sell, get to know the facts of the act very well. CPA is here for your protection. Don't make nobody fool you up. Make sure you get in a receipt. Label it on everything where you eat. Information where you get complete in a English language, because that is what we speak.
A message brought to you by the Consumer Affairs Commission, safeguarding the rights and responsibilities of consumers and vendors.
You're listening to Perkins Online, the Thinking Person's Talk Show. Our phone numbers are 968-4901, 968-4902, 968-4903. Our local toll-free line is 1-888-991-4072. Or you may call our international toll-free line, courtesy of the People's Telecom of Jamaica Limited, winners of the prestigious Jamaica Milestone Award on 1-866-LINK-106. That's 1-866-5465-106. You can also log on and listen to Perkins Online live on the World Wide Web free at www.go-jamaica.com. Now back to Perkins Online on Power 106 FM.
Okay, thank you very much. We're back here online. The issue of the appointment of judges. How are judges appointed in Jamaica? The Chief Justice, who is head of the judiciary, and the President of the Court of Appeal are appointed by the Governor-General on the advice of the Prime Minister. The Governor-General has no independence in this matter. he takes the advice of the Prime Minister. And I believe that in both cases, the Prime Minister is to have consultations with the leader. The Prime Minister gives his advice after consultation with the leader of the opposition. But how meaningful is that? Fine, the consultations with the leader of the opposition, but nowhere in the Constitution is there a suggestion that the Prime Minister is obliged to take seriously any opinion that or information or fact or whatever that the leader of the opposition brings to bear in this. He consults with the leader of the opposition, and then he goes off and advises the Governor-General as he wishes, and the Governor-General acts on that advice. So, let's go on. Other judges are appointed by the Governor-General on the advice of the Judicial Services Commission. The Judicial Services Commission is again appointed largely on the recommendation of the Prime Minister. The Bar Association is allowed to nominate a number of persons from whom, as one element of the Judicial Services Commission, a number of persons nominated, of lawyers nominated by the Bar Association, from which a selection is made, again on the advice of the Prime Minister. So, in effect, the Jamaican courts are constituted largely on the whim of the Prime Minister. And if we have a tribalistic and corrupt Prime Minister, what are the implications for the judiciary? Now, it seems to me that before we get anywhere to thinking in terms of rejecting or getting rid of the Privy Council, which is a court on which we can readily depend, we should be correcting these problems that we have in relation to our own courts. And there are other problems, a host of problems, in relation to our own courts. We need to correct those problems. And what is more, we need to put the appointment of judges beyond the reach of any individual person. No individual, like a Prime Minister, should have such power in determining privately and behind closed doors the identity of the judges. Right? In the United States, for example, the appointment of a judge to the federal bench is a public matter, not a behind closed doors matter. And it is very important, it seems to me, that we go in that direction and correct those problems before we come to talk about abandoning the Privy Council, which is a rockstone of stability for the justice system in Jamaica at the moment. Now, there's one other issue that I would like to bring to your attention before we go on. The Attorney General is talking in terms of entrenching the Caribbean Court of Justice in our Constitution. Does that make sense? It is in fact a load of nonsense. Why do I say that? Why was the Privy Council not entrenched in the Jamaican Constitution? For the obvious reason that the Privy Council is not a Jamaican court. It's a British court. And in theory, the British government could at any time have said, look here, we're sorry, but you're not going to have access to this court. And what then, how would we be served by the entrenchment of that court in the Constitution? Now, the Caribbean Court of Justice is not dissimilar. The Caribbean Court of Justice owes its existence not only to Jamaica, but to Trinidad, St. Lucia, Antigua, Barbados, etc. St. Lucia, St. Vincent and the Grenadines, right? Etc. If the Barbadians or the Trinidadians or any number of them should withdraw and said, look here, we don't want this court anymore, what happens to the Caribbean court? And what will be the value of it being entrenched in the Constitution of Jamaica? Am I right? Look here. Look here, be careful of hypocrisy. Be careful of hypocrisy. Incidentally, on a lighter note, let me say this, that my friend Mr. Greenspin, I beg your pardon, was shabbily treated by the Herald yesterday. You know, he does a column in dollars and cents. Yesterday, his column was there, and beside the column, right beside the column, sharing the top of page 4, is it? With Mr. Greenspan's column, was a cartoon. Yeah, you need to go and have a look at that cartoon. You really need to. You know? Cartoon with, there's a tree and there's an aircraft, the remains of an aircraft marked economy hanging from the tree. And somebody called somebody marked government spin doctors is saying to another person, marked critics, see, the economy took off, so you negative ties mouth people can now shut your damn mouth. You negative. You see the economy took off, so you negative ties mouth people can shut on the damn mouth. Well, the aircraft evidently took off. The economy evidently took off, but it crashed in the tree. Let me tell you something. I think that this is a priceless cartoon. We have to take a break. We come back in a moment. Okay, thank you very much. We're back here online. Hello? Hello?
Hello?
Yes, good afternoon to you, Mom.
Yes, good afternoon, Mr. Perkins.
Yes?
My family.
Oh, hold on, I'm not hearing you very well.
My family. Is it cellular I'm talking?
You're using a cellular?
Yes.
Uh-huh. Well, hold it closer to your mouth now and speak direct.
My family.
Uh-huh.
We live in a house in Washington Gardens.
Yes.
And there's another person that shares the house.
There's a what?
Another person that shares the house. Another tenant that shares the house.
Another tenant is what?
A tenant that shares the house with us. We live there for 5 months now. And we want to get out, and we cannot get out. They cut the grill. They cut the grill to the bathroom. They stole how much $1,000? They stole $30,000 from inside the house.
Look, Mom, I'm afraid you're not. I'm not.
We made the report to the police at the park.
The police what?
We made a report to the police at the park. And we cannot get no redress about the money they steal and cut the grill. We want to get out of the house. We want to get out of the house. Hello?
Hello?
Yes, we want to get out of the house. We did, and the police came a while ago and say we are Mr. Bacon. We need the commission and the car to help us get out of the house. The police from going to park say we are Mr. Bacon and they're going to lock us up.
Look here. Would you speak directly into the phone?
We need to get out of the house. We are packed and we're ready to go. We're ready to go.
Are you...
We don't want to do it about police. They call me from bad people. They want to beat us up and lock us up. We want to get out of the house. We need a commissioner to assist us get out of the house.
No, Mom. We can't follow you at all. We're not hearing you what you're saying.
We need protection. We need to come out of the house.
Would you calm down?
Yes, sir.
And would you speak directly into the phone?
I'm calling from a cellular. I'm calling from a cellular.
You're calling from a cellular.
Yes. I called a while ago. I was speaking to you presently.
You're her son?
Her daughter.
Oh, you're her daughter.
I spoke to you earlier on.
Yes.
She's very scared right now because listen, the Duane Park police.
Speak up a bit for me.
The Duane Park police.
Yes.
They came yesterday, and apparently they are some kind of alliance. They know them. It's not one occasion police come, and the man is like, but these police are my friends. I know
when
them.
did the police come there?
Yesterday and the day before that, but they know them because one of the police remarked that one reason I don't make them.
Hold on a little bit. That happened.
Bad name. That's what our police even have his badge number.
Well, hold on a little bit. That happened when? Yesterday?
Yesterday, sir.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
No police have turned up today.
the same ones from yesterday turned up today and were saying we don't want them because they are taking side with the...
Oh, you told them that you don't want them?
Yes, we didn't let them in, sir, because they're the same. So when they let them in, I will show them the door that they kick off, and they just said, and just gone, sir. We don't want those because you see, then it's the commissioner because they deal with justice, sir, and these people is like they know them, so they go pick up for them and against us. You understand me?
Yes, but why should the police take a stand against you?
Because they know them from where some of the people that some of the men that they call that he called for us, the police know them. They know.
But so what if they know them? They are there to protect you. You said you wanted to get out of the house, right?
Sure, but
and you wanted help in doing so. Well, the police came to do that.
But they're taking. We don't want them because they're taking sides against us. Because they even want to kick my mother in her face and go on like them.
Oh, I don't know. I really don't know what to do.
Sir, you can't let like some of the people from the commissioner's office or so come.
I cannot tell the commissioner to send his deputy commissioners there. How can I?
Sir, but the 9-1.
Well, I tell you what you do. You call the commissioner's office, right? Will you do that?
You see, 911 not really. You see, there's.
Yes, but there's a direct line to the commissioner's office. Look it up in the telephone book.
Some people yesterday and
look it up in the telephone book and call them, right? And tell them what your problem is. All right? Okay? Okay. Okay. Boy, I don't know. Hello?
Hello, Mr. Perkins?
Yes, sir. Good afternoon to you.
First time speaking to you, sir.
Happy to have you.
I'm listening to you for many years, sir.
Oh, is that so?
Yeah. Well, what a thing with the young lady there, sir.
Yes, well, I really don't know what is going on there, sir.
I wonder if she really has speak the truth, you know.
Well, that is the problem, right? Because if the police came there, she says they say they want help to get out of the place, right?
And the police come.
And the police come to protect them.
Well, this thing, something seems like something behind this thing.
It seems very odd to me.
And you are trying to get help and you are on police. That seems... Well, sir, to be honest with you, I don't know it. I don't know why I'm going to the country still, definitely, you know, because if every day I get up, killing, demonstration, this, that, I don't know if it do.
Anyway, it should all be better in the 5th term, don't you think?
One thing I want to talk to you about, is it, Mr. Perkins? The NHG thing with the house.
Yes.
One of the biggest robbery and trick with the poor people, you know, definitely, you know. Me I pay NIS and NHG for over 15 years. Me I'm 36 now. I don't own a house, you know. I rent a house, you know. And when I tell me, have
you ever applied for one?
Well, not really, no, but I go through a little procedure. Me try a thing and based on what I'm telling you, to be honest with you, I go to Jamaica National. Because one time I said me look a loan from them to say me can get one in the house. When me go to the man, and the man asks me how much I earn, and I tell him, because I'm an ancillary worker still, no, definitely, I work for the government. And when I tell the man how much money I get, the man laugh after me. The man said me if I work over 40,000 and my wife if I work the same.
You would have to be earning more than 40,000
per month.
And your wife would have to be earning as much as that.
Right. And when I tell him how much I get, because to be honest, my salary is 11,000 mash.
11,000?
Mash, right? And when them draw tax out of that, I two parts me tell me about 8,000 something. And me have 4 sons.
4 sons?
One of high school, one of a primary, one of a basic. And the small one, they're home now.
Yes.
The basic one, me have to pay. I look at inside the school, the basic school, the church school, get the money weekly. Me have to pay $250 every Monday morning. The one you go to high school, me have to give him $200. Because one lunch of your $100. $60 for him for your $40 for your drinks. Right? And my little son have a primary now. He lose never give him $100. Me give him $50 one day and man laugh at him and say, that's how we are dealing with. This a be $100 day man I used to me and you give me $50. And I walk in distance, because the man say when him go to school and $100, sometimes I just want to go lunch and not even drink some water. So, when me hear people get up and talk, say, boy, I just say, the country up on right track and the economy up on right track and the country a boom for this and that and rare. When me hear them people that talk, if you want to know where I go on, just have a day on your program for people who work with the government. And you hear where you go on, let them explain to you and tell you where they earn.
Yes.
Especially the people who are the lower class. The ancillary worker, the man and people who are at the bottom of the scale.
And you are contributing to a fund
NHT and
to provide houses for people who are better off than you.
Because right now, Mr. Perkins, let me tell you.
Isn't that what National Housing Trust amounts to?
Well, right now, I tell you that PN Housing Trust, if for the past 15 years, me put that money in around 60%. In that end of the year when they said me stop work when me 60. And that money they turn. Millions of dollars me they accumulate. Hundreds of thousands of dollars. You see me there, Mr. P?
Yes.
And the government will take your money. And me as a poor local man, my youth them know.
But you see, hold on a little bit. You know another thing that is going to hit you?
Yes, sir.
By the time you collect back that money from Housing Trust, right?
Yes, sir.
It will be worth far less. The dollar will be worth far less than it was when you were paying it.
True.
You realize that?
True. And the next thing I'm going to say I go on. I'll tell you before. You see right now, when I check out the work thing, work. You know matter about criminal and gun and man a stockpile, gun and people do this. If the government should know what they are doing, this is government time, I tell the truth, I don't understand what they are doing, Because every day they are going and talk about this and talk about that. Everywhere you walk, as you walk every 200 meters, every 100 yards, you look, you see man pan corner sit down. Who not play them, turn up with a little thing that them and roll up. And I really that them want to do,
You mean a spliff?
Yeah. And I really that, most of them in the way see how they have 3 and 4 subjects. That wasn't the desire, But because there's nothing to right now, I tell her, my wife now at this time. And the lady walk out the whole of the place. I look even at supermarket job and you can't get it.
Your wife? Your wife?
In the 80s, when I walk. I beg people, I beg if I go in a supermarket to work. No, not even supermarket you can't go. No work. So when I'm at where am I do? Every factory lock up. Everywhere lock up. Some don't know what they do. You can't explain and tell me. Do me a beg or tell me. Tell me. Do.
I don't know. Sister Pina said that she have a fund where she go and lend out to people to start businesses. You don't want to start a business?
Well, Mr. Perkins, my salary. When them draw tax out of the 11,000, I carry me 8,000. Tell me now, when you pay out of that face, when you pay out of that service.
No, but if you start a business, you will learn something.
Learn something?
Earn
start
something.
A business?
You will make some money out of the business.
Make some money out of them. Well, may I tell you the truth, sir, all I want them. I don't want them to lend me the money, You know what I want them to do for me?
What?
Me hear people talk say when they left and go foreign, some of them do 2 and 3 jobs. I want them create more jobs. That's my wife can earn.
Yes.
That's the two can pull, we look smart together. And see we even can build a little board house. And that's the thing, I don't want the government to go that take two one money and hand out and say, boy, they will lend you back and interest and what have you. You want them to make the system, provide the system that we can earn.
Hold on a minute. Hold on a minute. Okay, thank you very much. We're back here online. Hello?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
You know one of the biggest destructions to Jamaica, sir?
What?
Me hear talk about me a youth, Me at 36. This year me be 36. I'm 36 and me listening for years. You see the union. Union. One of the biggest destruction to this company. Me tell you country, me tell you why. To me, the union I'm going to defend your money. And Pajero and them thing there, When them get them big this and that and they don't respond to nobody else, And that me I tell you, I think Mr. Perkins, I think I'm observing them and I'm looking to and my friend them sit down and we study it and we look into it. You see, you don't go join union because, circumstances, But I'll do right now to them man. When they go sign on the memorandum, you see them man does a joke kind of therapy. Because, let me show you something. Me have a brethren where in the government system, and the man need to get taxi allowance and meal. You see, sir?
Yes.
And over here, the government give the man them the taxi allowance. Then give the man them when you call and ask them, say, boy, they don't have no money. So when people talk and say government are this and that, I chew them then when the money not there, and say money go there for the big neck back man like Roger and them man there. The money there for we are suffering. I tell me, sir, you say man them big all my man when them Peter, man all can online jacket. Sir, you say man them jacket a bust off of them. I know this whole Sister P face I get fat too. Just take a good look.
Sister P face I get fat.
Yeah, man. Because one of them eat off all our food and I'm not responsible nobody don't.
No, I don't think they're eating off the whole of the food, sir.
Well, the reason I say that. I mean, I'll give you a reason. You know the reason I can't say that? When a man work and get a little small to travel go man government to hold on panny and tell us boy, then I none. And no money did it. And hundreds of people over the country now get it. And the duty you can in the memorandum and in the circle and everything so you forget it. And when you look into it and say boy, then I give. There must something wrong. Tell me. And
yes, well, one of the things that's happening, sir, is that the government ministers and people like these are well paid, right?
So I'm to you the one at the bottom of the end of the
scale. That is the question.
Work extra.
Yes. That is the question.
And
they haven't been governing the country in a manner that leads to people like you having the kind of opportunities that you should. Right?
When I tell me you a man in a call, a couple months ago and a couple weeks ago, a man said, boy, him lose to contribute to either the NHA or something. Team father lose to contribute, him come and contribute, and right now, him a turn old man out there and not get nothing. Yeah. The same thing happened to me now. Me a contribute and my parents also do it, my father, my mother, me a come do it. So my son I'm going to come do it, and my grandparents them all in the port of the same way. So I saw it all go. Well,
yes, well, that's what they have in mind, it seems.
Well, me promise this government, you see? Anyhow this government not come out of power, me not vote again as long as me live. Believe me, sir, if this government not change. You see if this government get the fifth term, me done with voting. Me not vote again. As they always say, boy, you must poll your right, because you vote your right and you must, you know? Any government not change. Me never vote again. Me not vote again as long as me live.
Well, you know, sir, I don't know how that is going to help you.
Well,
or help the country.
That is a stand I'm taking up because, boy, I don't know Jamaica people. I don't know if a welding touch man them use, or people use welding touch and build a cage for their head. Or what? I don't know. If them blind, if a binoculars they want to see. I don't know if them deaf and dumb and they don't see, you know. You know, she say, boy, this worse than hell, you know. When a man work 8,000 out of cow, and you have to pay light bill, water rate, and pay rent out of that. How you survive?
At current prices.
Hello, sir?
At current prices. I don't see how you do it.
When I go to supermarket.
Maybe you should be finance minister.
But right now, me I tell you the truth, you know. Right now, me I tell you the truth. This is a finance minister. A finance minister. Him have no use. Him, one of the worst thing about him to Jamaica when this man named Omar Davis. And no good Davis them to call him. Him have no use. You know, see, I'm going to think can come on TV when they show me what the news in the.
But I don't know, so I heard people saying, eminent persons saying not very long ago that he was the best finance minister we've ever had.
Yeah, me always
greatest finance minister in the world.
Me always hear when you talk about him, you know, when people talk positive thing, you know, hungry, you know, suffer, you know. Kids me suffer, want clothes and food, and good education like for them, you know. Man, we are coming to the program, I go thing, you know, and talk positive thing, you know, hungry, you know, suffer, you know. Kids me suffer, want clothes and food, and good education like for them, you know. So when they come from national way, they come talk about this and that, and if you get to that, you go them out for the program, you know, and make reality people come with things we are deal about. You know, that's why
but you must hear them too, you know.
Yeah, sometime in company program, you know, but when them come, you know, to me, you know, I campaign them come to campaign, you know. when you hear the politician in company really not come in our area.
Well, not just politicians, some business people and so on were saying it.
You see some of them big business people that we come and attack. Hey, you see Mr. Buck still? Mr. Buck.
Yeah.
I mean, man like Mr. Buck, them to live in a forever, you know, man. Them man, they are reality man, you know. Them man there, you know. Can't Friday me, I listen to the man when the man attack, you know. And it's all life go. I just all life go still. So me I show you, a man like them, they want in the society, man like Mr. Buck. A man like Mr. Buck to come contact to man like me and talk to Jamaica people, make we listen and hear conscious thing. Wow, yes. We don't want a big neck man and no big man who can't hold a jacket and them things that go tell you the foolishness. You
don't want a big neck man?
We don't want a mice bull man with a neck like a big out in the
mice bull.
And we don't want a man with a face fat till the glass can't hold up on his face. You know the man face Peter face? You know the Peter face big hotel and the big glass can't hold up on the man face. A fat man and fat off our tax, you know. And I eat and I drink, you know, because them comfortable, call it, as you always say, if they want the ambulance, them can't get it.
No.
They're driving a Prado.
Well,
they have to pick up them own leisure. And we are suffer.
No, but they're well paid, you know, and they're comfortable. They have, as you say, insurance and so on covers their...
them well insured, but right now, sir, right now, may I tell you, see, right now, may I tell you, you know what people sick right now and can't go to a doctor right now?
I know.
You know, the first doctor bill, because right now, the doctor, you lose a doctor, if you're a family doctor, you know, you might take $800 or $1,000 for you, so you know the struggling. And when you go to the hospital, you have to turn there, if you go to no, 2-1, you know, left out, they tell her 10 o'clock tonight.
Oh my God.
You see, one time my son go by the
I can imagine somebody who is ill.
Sir.
And anxious about his illness.
You tell us something
if not even in pain. What it must mean to sit that long to wait on treatment.
You tell us something before me wrap up. Because my wife saying want to tell you hello, but me tell her before me give my wife a phone. You see? My son is sick one time and I got a Spanish one hospital. And 30, I carry the man got a doctor. But family doctor never had a hurt the day. I'm bringing him another doctor. I know some doctor might panic 3 hours, man, send him out to hospital. They send him to hospital and them get it. Them say emergency asthma. Within 15 minutes, everything, them do x-ray, them give nebulize and what have you. So the x-ray come up, then give me some care back of the doctor and put it on the screen. Just read the thing. Sir, just read it, sir. To tell me if I'm more admit the man, I'm going to write a prescription, give me, I'm going to send more my what have you. You see, sir? And you know what happened? The man put up the thing on the screen, you know.
Him do what?
And he put up the x-ray on the screen to read it.
Yes.
Put it up on the thing.
Yes.
And sir, the man have me there from about 10 o'clock in the morning to till about 4 o'clock in the afternoon. And me have to ask the man to boss, he say right now, I'm not come to argue with you, you know. Because I'm soon as I waste of time, you know. The youth sick, I'm not come to help you, you say, I'm not time for waste, and I work more and go, you say, you see if I go, read the x-ray. To make me go on my yard, I for the night, we don't tell me to take him and can't go on private doctor. Although me poor, I have money, but me begging money to keep me making get the medication. Because when I graduate, you know, so, here the man said, the young doctor said to me, sir, it's either take it,
him say what?
Leave it. It's either take it, or leave it.
Oh, God.
So may I show you, Jamaica people suffer mentally and physically. Every kind of call you want to take it.
Yes.
We are suffer. But most people have access to call, you know, sir. And that, you know. See? So when you hear a man like me, I tell you, I don't hurt man, I tell them, we are suffer, I talk on behalf of thousands of Jamaicans. We are suffer. We are suffer. Bad.
Yes.
And the government now look into that and know, people are suffer, people want food to eat. People right now, some people not even from morning and get up, not even a dumpling. Then have a floor pan and table to eat. And the government are going on attack and then understand some more people are suffer. Some people right now, I tell you, I want to, they are on them back. I look close cheap of Jamaica. I tell you, because I know, I beg you know, I know I want the shoes and care, because you look small now, I take it, put it on for school fee tomorrow morning, school, taxi money and lunch money. And make sure I make him buy a pound of flour and a piece of butter and really get some greens and cook. I tell you from experience. You show me the recipe?
Yes.
So when the government come talk about so them are driving a Prado and them can't take care of ambulance and them are grown and injured for themselves. Right now people sick and know the juice them have to drink. Because they don't have a doctor bill, you know. So they know where I'm going and to them now go around and walk from house to house and know where I'm going. people suffer mentally and physically. Sometimes at night time people don't sleep. Come here, Bridget, and tell me, can't sleep at night time, come in stress out and fret. That even Dr. Belly now. You see me, I show you. And when I hear them done, then come from national radio. All the one when from St. Mary, when where name again? The one, the whited man, the way all is called, the good comrade. Where name again?
Oh, you mean,
I don't know if your man.
White.
Harry Douglas.
Oh. Pip.
Douglas.
Pip.
Yeah, you see him? He might want the next one, you know. He might one of them always come out when time the government have problem and people are lick out and come and cover up and talking back and nonsense on radio. And same place of individual people every day them are calling a ball to suffering. You know, see it? And then come from all the while and come from radio and TV and talk about people to resign and people for that when they never tell the mayor fan down the country the same to resign and this and that. And them have the most problem and they not resign, you know. You don't know. And the people then come from the radio come with them bag of nonsense all the while about poor people, you know. You know, see, but you know, always hear say, you know, say peace, everything will happen to Jamaica people and deserve it, you know. See, and you always say we have a political problem, you know. And I really, you know, sir, Pete. Political problem. So, at the first, I call her still, so I'm not going to let you out still, you know. Because I'm not going to stop calling my wife and tell her hello, because she listens every day, you know.
Okay.
So,
okay.
Hello, Mr. Perkins.
Hi, hello, how are you?
I'm alright. Happy New Year to you.
Hey, hold on 1 minute for me.
Okay.
Okay, thank you very much. Back here.
Hello, Mr. Perkins.
Hi, how are you?
I'm talking to you. I'm alright.
Eh?
And Happy New Year to you.
Oh, thank you very much, and the very same to you.
I like to listen to your advice.
Uh-huh.
I like to listen to your advice.
Is that so?
Yeah. Your station don't come off of my radar.
Oh, is that so?
Yeah. And Mr. Perkins, I saw something today when I bring my son to school.
Yes.
I go into the supermarket and a lady come in there and buy some things, and the lady it wants $1, and the lady tried to take back something, and me have to give the lady $1.
She needed $1 to complete her purchase.
And I have to give the lady $1. Yeah. So me say in this country, man, me I tell her, I never see anything like this.
Things are pretty grim. Things are not looking good at all. And they keep telling us, filling us up with a whole lot of spin about the economy about to take off and rubbish like that. Nothing of the kind is the case. Is true.
Yeah.
You know? Nothing of the kind. It's going to get worse and worse until some radical changes occur. Anyway, that youngster behaving himself?
Yes.
Keep him on the tight management, you know.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Nice hearing from you. And you must call again. All right? Hello? Yes.
Hello, Mr. Perkins.
Hello, yes. Good afternoon, sir.
Mr. Perkins, how are you doing?
Hi, not too bad. You? How are you?
All right, I'm doing pretty good.
I haven't heard from you for a little while.
Yeah, I think I called you about 10 days ago.
Eh?
I think I made my first call for 2007 about a week and a half ago.
Well, I thought it was longer than that.
No, it was about 10 days. And we talked about the...
Yes.
Yeah, sure.
So I gather you're freezing where you are?
Well, it's not too bad. It's warming up now, but it was colder than usual.
Yes.
It was colder than usual. And so for California to have, temperatures which were 30s and 20s, that's very unusual.
But California is bad enough. What about Texas?
Yeah, I know. So, this is where we extend our, request to the global warming people.
Yes.
To give us some warming. But anyway, Mr. Perkins, I called you about, this is really what I called you about. There's a popular news media in Jamaica which has an internet streaming service, and it's not Power 106. The service that they actually They solicit subscriptions from people.
I'm not hearing you very clearly. Hello?
All right, let me go. Let me see if I can make it clearer. I'm talking on a cell phone, so
I
it
see.
might be a little bit hard.
Uh-huh.
All right. Now, there's a popular news media, Mr. Perkins,
Uh-huh.
who has streaming service on the internet.
Yes.
Are you hearing me so far?
Eh?
Are you hearing me so far?
No, I heard you so far, but your voice is breaking up. It's not, it's not easy.
It's not clear?
Not clear
All
at
right, let me
all.
see if I can move.
Eh?
All right. Any better?
Yes.
Any better?
You sound a bit better there. Hello?
Okay. All right.
No.
Yes, I'm here.
Yes, all right. Speak as loud as you can.
All right. You ready? All right. I will. There is a popular news media
Uh-huh.
who has a streaming service online.
Online.
Yes, a streaming service.
Yes.
And they stream the News Watch program, and it's supposed to be on a daily basis.
Yes.
They actually solicit subscriptions from people like myself.
Yes.
So they have subscribers. But Mr. Perkins, that service is so poor. Sometimes out of 1 week, which is 7 days, you can only access streams 3 times for the week.
Yes.
Yes, are you hearing me?
Yes.
I've written letters, I've written emails contacting them, telling them, look, if you cannot provide the service that you say you were going to provide and you're collecting money for it, then you are cheating your customers.
Yes.
Right? I assume that they're thinking that they're operating only in Jamaica.
Uh-huh.
Maybe that's the mindset they have. Right? But I would like to let them know that this is robbery, and if you cannot deliver the service that you're charging for, please do not charge for it or take it off the internet.
Yes. How much do you pay for this
It's
service?
sounding a lot. It's $7.95 per month.
How much?
$7.95 US per month.
Per month.
Yes.
Uh-huh.
And it's not a bad sum, Mr. Perkins, and the money is not the issue. But even if I'm going to pay $1 for the service, and you say that's what it's going to cost me
Yes.
to have the service,
Then you must get what you were.
provide the service.
You must get what you were promised.
Absolutely. Right. Mr. Perkins, half of the time you cannot even access the stream. They put it up on the website,
Yes.
but you can't access it. You know, you click on the thing and the stream is not there. Sometimes it only has 10 seconds of the stream,
Uh-huh.
and you can't get the stream. So I don't understand what kind of shop they're running, that they're actually cheating their subscribers. Right? And they need to, not sound as if they're operating like the RGD.
Yes.
We can't do that.
That's very odd because I don't know. We have some problems with our internet broadcast too. I don't know what the devil it is that's happening.
I know you have problems, but this one, Mr. Perkins, you don't have subscribers paying
I know.
for your program.
I know that.
Yours is free.
Yes.
But
I'm just wondering. I'm just wondering whether the problems that we are having are the same problems that they are having.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, but Mr. Perkins,
Uh-huh.
if you're having problems, communicate with your customers. Right?
Yes.
And tell them that you're having technical difficulties. You cannot represent a certain stream on the internet as if it's there and it's not there.
Yes.
You understand what I'm saying?
Yes, I understand.
It's an empty paper bag.
Uh-huh.
So if you don't, and I wonder if that media house doesn't have a quality department which tests the stream before they put it on the internet.
Yes.
Test to see if somebody can get the stream first before you put it up. I wonder if they do that. But it's very frustrating. That's one of the ways I keep up with the news on TV. And I said, let me pay for the service. right? And I'm definitely disappointed that they cannot deliver. And you know what, Mr. Perkins? Every month, the first of the month, they withdraw the $7.95 from your bank account. They're never late with that. You hear what I'm saying?
Yes.
They're never late with it. They're very consistent in pulling your money out of your account.
Yes.
But they're not consistent in delivering what they said they were going to deliver. And that's the problem I have.
Yes.
And that media house knows who it is.
Yes.
So they better just clean up the act or take the stupid thing off the internet.
Yes, yes. Well, I hope they will do that.
Well, you know, whatever they're going to do, listen, if we're paying for a service, we expect to get
You expect
what we're paying for.
the service to be delivered, yes. That's reasonable.
Absolutely, sir. That's all I want to say.
Okay, thank you very much.
Here's another thing I want to bring up.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Nice hearing
I want to
from
bring
you.
up something else for you.
Eh?
I want to bring up something else real quick.
Okay.
Yeah, the government promised to change to have some constitutional changes after the general election.
Yes.
Right? I saw that headline. A.J. Nicholson, the Attorney General.
Yes.
And one of the things that he probably has overlooked, Mr. P, is the fact that he actually is acting as Attorney General representing people of Jamaica and also representing his party as a legal. I wonder if Mr. Nicholson will change that in the Constitution or whatever it is, right? Because that's an absolute total conflict of interest. I wonder if Mr. Nicholson realizes that, right? And how many elections have the PNP, this administration, have to change some of these constitutions? Make some constitutional changes. Now, after 4 elections, they're telling us that they will change things after the general election. I guess this is their first election.
Yes, indeed.
Right? So I don't know who they're trying to convince that they're the better administration and that they will implement changes. But as far as I know, the only thing I've heard so far coming out of the two parties is Mr. Golding suggesting that promising that he would have 6 election dates.
Yes.
You
all right.
Me? And that is a good change. If you're going to change anything in the Constitution, we need to have a 6th election date.
Absolutely.
And not have the power of one person manipulating and dictating what election is called according to when they're ready for it.
All right. Thank you very much.
You know what I'm saying?
Thanks a lot. All the best to you. Okay. Thank you very much. We're back here online. Hello?
Hello?
Yes?
Good afternoon, Mutty.
Good afternoon, sir. How are you?
Boy, I tell you.
Sorry about that. Eh?
Mutty, some weeks ago, it was last week, there was a full-scale ad in both newspapers by the government of Jamaica, Ministry of Local Government and Environment.
Yes.
And they have the picture of Bim and Bam, otherwise called Mr. Peart and Mr. Douglas, handing out ex gratia payment of $1.14 million paid to Caribbean terrace property owners. And 8 people got $14 million, and all of them in a beautiful photograph.
8 people got $14
million.
$14 million.
Right, Jamaican dollars. And much when I think of what happened in Port Maria, what the flood come, wash out the people, them house, mash up them furniture, mash up them fruit. But you know, them poor and them vote for PNP all the while. The government promised $30 million. And Senator, what's his name again? Floyd Morris came down there and gave them $10.5 million. Hundreds of people, you know, buddy. You see, this government is a middle-class government, right? They can't give 8 middle-class people $14 million from the damage from the hurricane. But when their National Works Agency caused the flooding in Port Maria by building the bridge too low, Choose only poor people down there. $10.5 million for hundreds of Jamaicans. The most any one of them get, them say it will be $30,000.
Would be
and
what?
I doubt anybody get $30,000. You get what I mean? Get the National Housing Trust. When Michael Mann set it up, right? It's not that I agree with it, you know. But he set it up, and it was for the poor people. Wasn't that the intention, Mutty? That people who could afford houses, this thing would help them. And Mutty, $700,000 people contribute to it, and only $120,000 people get benefits.
Get benefits, yes.
And when poor people, when you...
And that is over 30 years.
Yeah. And Mr. Dwight Nelson said that there are over 60,000 government workers. The sea of government, you know, paying them money that them can't qualify for National Housing Trust. And what they do with the money, Mutty?
Well,
the police commissioner office up there, they're taking it over to set up housing scheme, what them say, for young professionals in the $5 million range. These people can't get mortgage from the building societies. You have Victoria Mutual, you have Jamaica National, you have Scotia Building, and you have other building societies that these people can qualify for mortgages. But no, the poor little people, they can't qualify, the salary too small. But they are contributing, Mutty. They are contributing. This is the well, I don't understand it. I try to help the poor people. They take $200 million bill Peters Park for them friends, for them yuppie friends, them. Go over Pegasus, go play tennis and trot through the park. Poor people can't go there as they want, you know.
Yes.
They're not qualified to go there. But it's their money, it's their savings. Instead of them fix up George William Grant Park, who was a trade union leader in the years in the 30s, 40s, and he died, and they named it George William Park. Instead of them fix up that park, no, they're not going down there to mix up with the poor and the unwashed. They make them one park up at New Kingston there.
Hold on, sir. Will you hold on for a bit? I have an urgent call here.
Yes.
Hold on. Hello?
Hello?
Yes, Mom?
Yes, I'm waiting for Perkins.
I beg your pardon?
I was holding for Perkins.
Yes, Perkins, you...
Hi. Pleasant good morning, Mr. Perkins.
Morning to you. Good afternoon to you.
Good afternoon. This is Denise Carr calling. I'm calling concerning that I'm the landlord to the tenant that called in and said she was being held at gunpoint.
Yes. I don't think she's quite put it that way.
Oh.
She said that there were some men out there.
No, there were police out there. I just left it. There was police out there. This thing has been going on. She's a tenant. She hasn't paid rent in 4 months. The light is bridge. She's paid no water bill. You give it a water bill, she tear it up. She spread dog feces all over the next tenant's car. I had to go down yesterday and apologize.
She sprayed dog feces over the next
tenant's car. I had to go down yesterday. I don't know. I don't think she's playing with a full deck, honestly.
You don't think what?
I don't think she's right upstairs. I had to go and apologize to my neighbors. Yesterday I went there. Everybody came out and was begging me, please get her out of your place. I'm telling them, I'm just bearing them to bear with me. It's been 4 months since she haven't paid any rent. And I have to apologize to Jamaica's Constabulary Force because every minute she calls them, she's even taking taxis from one station to the next station. If you call Dwayne Park, they can give you a long list of things this woman has done.
Yes.
And it's only because she's to move on the 25th of the month and she do not want to move. And she's terrorized. She has her kids calling you. She has her kids doing... They even went as far as to cut the grill last week Thursday and called me up and told me somebody tried to break in the house. And then she turned and said, but they didn't break. They didn't take the grill off all the way.
Well, how do you know that they cut it? How do you know that they cut it?
How do I know that they cut it? She claimed they cut it. It wasn't cut. Somebody saw her, my neighbor saw her kids going back and forth to the bathroom grill. Then she said they didn't cut it far enough where they can get in. But then she turns around and says, oh, I'm missing $30,000.
Yes, well, I don't know.
I don't know either.
It sounds,
honestly, I went down to the police station yesterday. There's nothing they can do, and she's wasting the police force time. And each time they go there, I just left there with some special officers because she said the commissioner himself sent her out. I didn't get her name. And we went, we knocked the door. She would not come out. She would not come out. There is no gunman. There is nothing. This lady is just, I don't know, honestly. And there's nothing that can be done. There is nothing that can be done because the law is protecting her. She's there destroying my property, paying no rent, no bills, disturbing the peace, and there is nothing that can be done.
Well, when is she leaving?
She's supposed to leave on the 25th, which is this week.
I see.
And then if she don't leave on the 25th, then the very next day my attorney will be in court to get an immediate eviction notice for her.
I see.
I cannot even get in to inspect the place to see if she's damaged the place because it's a brand new place and there are AC units in there. And I cannot even get in to inspect the place to see if there's any damage. And she's given the police 2 different names, so we really don't know who she is.
Well, all right, Mom. I hope that the problem will somehow be resolved, eh?
Yes.
All right?
All right, then.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Okay, hello?
Yes, what?
Yes,
yeah, man. You know, the PNP
people are living under a great deal of stress, you know, sir.
Yes. I tell you. But, Mutty, you know, the PNP started as a middle-class party, right? With them Norman Manley, that Drumblade crew, right?
Yes.
Michael Manley turned it around and appealed directly to the masses with, you know, populism and socialism and all of that. But they have now reverted to type. You understand? Because they have these things, and we must examine it. National Housing Trust, they have it building up this tremendous surplus of money.
Yes.
And when you have this tremendous surplus of money in anything, it will find ways to be spent.
But I should have thought
so they come up now with Penis Park. Now they're thinking of $23 billion, $500 million to spend. I heard it in the radio myself, to spend on building retirement colony for people.
Yes.
And the poor people dying for a little house. You know, they have lost their soul. It is a yuppie. No wonder that Mr. Greenspan said that the economy is poised for things. It is good for them.
Well, you know, sir,
yuppies are enjoying themselves, you know.
If you love poor people, if you love poor people, then maybe the more of them there are,
you keep them poor.
The more you like it.
I get what you mean.
The happier you become.
But Mutty, I was born and grew in St. Mary.
Yes.
And it's a disgrace to see what my parish has been reduced to. We have 3 PNP MPs, you know. But it's not that I'm being petty. But they took this beautiful housing scheme and I said, yes, this is a chance to lift the level of the life of the people in Port Maria. And they whisk it away. And when you ask them, they say it's too expensive and it's too this and it's too that. Some of them are even not talk about the place have swamp. And it's not true. But you have engineering thing that get around, and you have the hills right around Frontier Estate there to make the thing, right? But no, it's too expensive for the little poor people, but it's not too expensive for the retirees from America.
Yes.
Mutty, the government is not interested in helping the people. No poor people in Jamaica, as far as I see. They talk about this thing to beautify the thing for World Cup cricket. How can people exist on less than the $2,000 a week? Now keep it them poor. What hope is there?
Well, it will be fascinating
to break the cycle of poverty.
It will be fascinating to see how much Jamaica is beautified.
Yes.
Come World Cup.
Yeah, and Mutty, they can't find money for that. But you look, some of these poor people, I know a lot of them. I used to even help some people by signing things for them to get student loan tomorrow. But they say I passed that age. If you're over 60 now, you can't do it again, right?
Oh, is that so?
Yes, if you're over 60, you can't stand security for student loan people, right?
I see. Hold on a moment for me. Okay, thank you very much. We're back online. Hello?
Yes, Mutty.
Yes.
I tell you, these government organizations, they pile up a lot of money. And instead of checking out ways to help the country in it, they only help their middle-class friends. You understand?
Yeah.
And the National Housing Trust. I accuse them of that. Because it shows Mutty, they can't do anything to help the poor people. They can't stretch out the mortgage payments instead of 30 years. They can't even put up to 50 years. You understand, Mutty? It has been done in other countries, Mutty.
Yes.
And when you consider urban renewal is an important social thing that people use to lift up a people of a country. You know what I mean? When you have this slum business going on, it's not good for the psyche of the people. And when you consider, Mutty, the other day, that they listed students out of university, and all it needs is a $40 million to keep those students in university. What are the priorities? What are the priorities? You can't find $40 million. But you can find billions of dollars for World Cup cricket. What are we, a nation of poseurs? Mutty?
Well, I don't know, sir, but I tell you something, it is going to be very interesting to see how the World Cup turns out.
And finally, before I leave you, you remember when you were young, Mutty, you used to have some people, women and men, go around and they walk and they warn the district. Yes, this is going to happen. That is going to happen. Yes. You ever notice in the house plenty of them walking around? Well, they have graduated to PhD and doctors of divinity.
Yes, indeed.
I'm telling you, them wish list, you know, for prophecy. Prophecy, right? Real foolishness. When we used to laugh at those people, why shouldn't we laugh at them today? Calling themselves prophecies and political historians and political this. Mutty, rubbish.
What fascinates me, not fascinates me, but to see the name of God being used,
being prostituted
for cheap political propaganda.
It is a disgrace. This is terrible.
And it is a disgrace to the Christian religion.
Yes, it is. It is. You know, and I wonder what they will tell their maker when they see him. You know? Okay, Mutty, thank you.
All right. Thank you very much. All the best to you. Okay, do we have some email for our listeners?
Mr. Perkins.
And from our listeners.
Yes. Mr. Perkins, we have received a lot of mail from listeners concerning the passing of Mr. Basil Buck.
Oh, yes.
All of them are sending condolences to his family. And there's one here that says that with Mr. Buck gone, I'm afraid that no real analysis of the performance of the economy will take place. Instead, we will have these sideshows with election pronouncements and grandstanding. If the economy was performing in real terms, the way Mr. Buck and yourself have urged through years of conversations together, these new growth figures they are now projecting, if they are correct, why is it necessary to raid NIS funds and the Capital Development Fund and the sudden postponement of the increased tax threshold?
Good question.
If Mr. Buck were here, perhaps you two could discuss what is the outcome of the audit into the JPS billing system, which was promised from God knows when. Mr. Perkins, that lady that phoned you in great distress from Duhaney Park that you were so exasperated with, suppose it turns out that the house was indeed surrounded by gunmen and who were in cahoots with the police, how would you feel?
Well, the impression that I have is that is not how it is turning out, you know. One has to make decisions, and very often, I did speak to the
Mr. Amos,
the superintendent senior superintendent in charge of that division. And he said he was sending police there.
And the police did go.
And police did go.
And she wouldn't let them.
Absolutely, yes.
And then it turned out that
we had
they had been going for quite a long time.
Yes.
Mr. Perkins, I heard last week the readings from some of the Auditor General report for 2005-2006. I want to be clear on this. How can a check for US $100,000 paid by the United States of America Post to the Jamaica Post Office be unaccounted for since 2001? The USA Post maintains the check was cashed, but the Jamaica Postal Agency says it did not receive nor negotiated this check. This was in the recent Auditor General's report. This amount of 100,000 US converts now to more than 6 million Jamaican dollars, which is significant indeed. We must get to the bottom of this, Mr. Perkins.
More than 6 million, nearly 7 million?
Without further cover-up. Because for this to have stayed so long means that it must have been well covered up to remain so unresolved for so long. As a matter of fact, it is only an investigation in the operations of the post office operations over this period which will restore our faith in this government agency. Is this related to the previous cases where checks valued in millions were illegally lodged to their attorney's account instead of to the agency's account?
Well, I don't know
and
that.
How many more of these cases will now have not yet come to light? The management of this agency must be called upon to account for these matters in no uncertain way. In fact, this case reminds me that there is no accountability for this, what I can only interpret to mean misappropriation of taxpayers' money. Unfortunately, when the common man steals $1,000 or less of, say, grocery items, they are promptly arrested and jailed for same. Is this mockery of our justice system? Why were the police not called in? Why are they not called in now to investigate this misappropriated check?
Very good question.
Is this not a simple matter to determine who negotiated the check at the banks?
Well, it sounds as if there's some person of kleptomaniac failings lurking about the post office there. Was lurking in 2001.
Was
in 2001. Yes.
Mr. Perkins, in recent time, last week, Tuesday morning to be exact, I was awakened by about 3 gunshots in the vicinity of my gate in the Red Hills Boulevard in Barnes. And on calling both the security firm and the Constant Spring Police, I had a response from the security firm within 15 minutes. But to date, which is 7:59 a.m. this morning, no police have turned up yet, and there is one spent shell seen on the floor. Mr. Perkins, a few days ago, a lovely bunch of banana that I had planted went missing, and to be frank, things are really falling apart around us. What steps do you think should be taken when people who are supposed to protect us are so oblivious to the job they have at hand? Can this country remain to be governed in this lackluster and lackadaisical way? God help us.
Quite true. But you and other Jamaicans must draw the appropriate conclusions.
Mr. Perkins, some time ago I told you that my deduction from the aggressive campaign being conducted by the NHT to get persons to come in and pay off their mortgages was because the NHT was having financial difficulties. The Auditor General's finding that $18 billion have not been handed over to the NHT, plus the $5 billion taken for education, plus the amount used to build Penis Park, the amount used for social housing, and the amount invested in Trelawney are the reason why the NHT is now willing to give up to 10% discount in enticing mortgagers to come and bail them out. The genesis of all of this was when former Prime Minister moved the NHT from the Ministry of Housing to the office of the Prime Minister. This government is going to wreck everything before they are booted out of office.
Are they going to be booted out of office? That depends on the Jamaican people, but how the Jamaican people sing this, the majority of them? I don't know. I wonder.
Mr. Perkins, I have to comment on the supposed danger of microwave water. I have a bachelor's degree in biochemistry and several years of laboratory experience. Water is composed of hydrogen and oxygen. During evaporation, water molecules gain thermal energy and endure a change of state from liquid to vapor. However, the water molecules themselves do not dissociate into individual atoms of hydrogen or oxygen. Water normally has small amounts of air and other gases dissolved in it. These gases can be released in addition to the formation of water vapor during boiling. Microwave water, if it is superheated, may simply contain less dissolved air and other gases than water boiled in the traditional way. Air molecules normally dissolved in water and contribute to its taste. The hotter you heat the water, the larger the fraction of dissolved air you drive out of solution. By superheating water in the microwave, the dissolved air content may be reduced further than it would in a stovetop kettle. The result is that the taste buds will react as flat-tasting water. One caller suggested that microwaves damage the plant DNA, and that is why the plant treated with microwave water died. This is completely untrue. After all, the plant was not microwaved. I hope there is no unwarranted panic about the use of microwaves once they are operated in the proper manner.
Okay, thank you. Hold on just a moment. We take a break. Okay, thank you very much. We're back online. Hello?
Hello?
Yes, good afternoon.
Yes, good afternoon, Mr. Perkins. Listen, you remember the $635 million beautification program that was announced at the PNP's conference by Sister P?
What was it?
$635 million beautification project.
Yes.
What has become of it?
No, I don't.
That's off. It's off.
You think so?
Not that I think so. That is the fact.
Oh, why do you say that?
Well, because what has happened is that my poor, uninformed Prime Minister.
Your poor, uninformed Prime Minister? Your poor, uninformed Prime Minister?
Yes.
Your Prime Minister is uninformed?
Totally uninformed.
Oh, my God, I wonder why.
She went and made this grand announcement, not knowing that, remember the money was supposed to come from the Petro-Carib Fund?
Yes.
Well, she obviously made the announcement without checking, not knowing that the money could not be used, Petro-Carib funds cannot be used for projects like that. So that is totally off.
Oh, my God.
So that whole
hold on a little bit. So the NIS is in more trouble?
Yes, NIS are bauxite money. I don't know which.
Or housing trust.
Or housing trust. But it seems that they're stuck on that one. That is totally off. That's why you see the whole lot of scrambling and there's no work going on in terms of the beautification that is supposed to be taking place. You know.
So hold on a little bit. The people are going to come here for World Cup and find the place in the present state?
Yes, man. Yeah, man.
No beautification?
No beautification. I mean, they're trying to find little funds here and there. but it won't amount to much. So what will happen is that, little work will be done here or there, but the place will be just almost as dirty as it's been for the past number of years.
Oh.
But this is...
That's frightening.
Huh?
That's frightening.
Well, I don't know. I mean, we
people are going to form a bad impression of us, or rather, perhaps a worse impression of us.
Well, of course, but worse than that, I have formed a very bad impression of my Prime Minister.
Oh yes? Why?
Hello?
Why?
Well, how could a Prime Minister get up at a party conference anywhere, but even at a party conference, and make such grand announcement without making the necessary checks to find out if what he's announcing could be done?
Uh-huh.
We leadership like that, Mr. Perkins, we don't need. I like the young lady, but her leadership, her ability to lead, and her knowledge of what is involved in government is very poor.
You think so?
Not think so. It is plain. It is obvious, Mr. Perkins.
Oh my gosh.
I think even, as a matter of fact, even some unrepentant PNP supporters has come to that conclusion.
Oh yes?
Yes, and when the unrepentant, is looking and seeing the truth, then you know that the truth is very...
there are rumors going around so that there are persons within the People's National Party who think that it would perhaps be best if the PNP lost the upcoming elections.
But Mr. Perkins, and any fair-thinking Jamaican, any honest-thinking Jamaican, even if they're unrepentant supporters of the PNP, would feel that way. The leader that we have, believe me, it would have been better if we had. And I know you didn't agree with this, but it would have been better if the PNP presidential victory had gone to Carl Blight.
Oh?
Yes. Or Peter Phillips, even. No, this lady just can't handle it. I mean,
you don't think she can?
No, she don't have a clue what's going on.
Oh,
and she's leading the country into a hole. Because, when a prime minister could make such an announcement without even checking the information to know if what she's saying is even possible.
How you know that she didn't check it?
How I know that she didn't check it? Because if she checked it, she would have found out that the money cannot be used for that purpose.
Not necessarily. Suppose somebody fooled her up.
No, man. No, man. Listen, let me tell you something. This lady has got more information and have more people catering to her and trying to keep her informed than the former Prime Minister P.J. Patterson.
You think so?
I know so.
Oh.
The people are trying to render every help that is possible. But she can't be helped. She just don't have the capacity as far as I'm concerned. And I'm not saying having the capacity in the sense that, because as far as I'm concerned, all human beings were created with intelligence. But it's a question of our determination to use it. I don't think that Mrs. Sims Miller is prepared to use that which was given to her.
Oh my God.
But that is the case with the grand announcement. It is off, and they're running around trying to find little money here and there to do little bits and pieces here and there, And something else that I'd like to, just throw out there for the rest of the listeners. Some people are thinking that the majority of Jamaican voters are stupid and that they're going to vote just based on sentiments. Those days are over, Mr. Perkins.
You think so?
I know so. You can't no longer buy Jamaican, the majority. I'm talking about the majority now, the majority of registered voters. You cannot any longer buy their votes for money. You cannot any longer trick them into voting based on promises or cheap political tricks. Those days are over. I mean, you have the people that are referred to as diehards on both sides of the fence, PNP diehards, Labour Party diehards, that will vote under any circumstances for the party.
Yes.
But the majority of registered voters are not. They're neither PNP nor JLP. They're people who are prepared to vote for the betterment of the country. And the party that is seen...
Well, that's an improvement.
It's a major improvement. And I tell you what,
if what you're saying is true, sir, it is a wonderful thing to hear.
It is true. And it's fantastic because this mental change has taken place significantly over the last 2 years.
Oh?
Yeah, man.
And what has been responsible for it?
I think it has a lot to do with people's experience. And also the fact that there are some programs under here that, sort of forces people, pressure people, put people in a position where they have to stop and think and analyze things more critically. And I think those are the two things that are responsible for it.
Yes, well, programs like Mr. Greenspins.
Well, programs like Mutty Perkins.
No, come on.
Yeah, man. Let me tell you something. What you must realize, people like Greenspin has absolutely no credibility to the majority of listeners to radio talk shows,
Where you get that from, sir?
But I'm telling you what is happening, Mr. Perkins. You see, the problem that you have, that you're having now, is that you are not having enough time to spend among the people in the country to hear what they're saying, to understand and to know how they're thinking and to see what is going on. People don't listen. These people have absolutely no influence on the way the people think and the conclusions that they come to. Yeah, man. People look for the credibility of people who run these programs. For example, people like you. I mean, if you should go around Jamaica between 10 and 2:30, you will find that 75% of every radio that is tuned into a talk show is tuned into yours. Do you think that is by accident?
Well, I don't know. I find this fantastic figure.
Well, I'm telling you. And let me tell you something. Even the few who disagrees with you, and I'm telling you, it's the few. Because the only people in this country that disagrees with you are the unrepentant PNP people.
Oh?
Yeah, man. Yeah, man. Even the few that disagrees, they listen. As a matter of fact, they listen even more keenly. Yeah, man. But, people can rest assured, elections will not be won or lost anymore in Jamaica based on, curry goat politics and cheap tricks. Those days are over. The majority of registered voters in Jamaica will never any longer fall for that.
Well, I hope that is true.
Mr. Perkins,
people are thinking about the good of their country.
Yes, man. Well, I am speaking now, and I have no loyalty or allegiance to any political party. And when I vote, I'll be voting for the betterment of this country. I'll be voting in my self-interest and my children's self-interest.
Yes.
And that is where most people are in Jamaica. It doesn't matter whether they're poor and can't read or they're poor and can read.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? Because if you should examine what is going on, the majority of people in this country that used to be called middle class are now the new poor. Yes. So people will vote self-interest, and based on their experience, not on sentiments.
All right.
Okay, sir.
Thank you very much. All the best.
All right.
Okay, hello? Oh, I beg your pardon. I didn't realize that we were on the break. Okay, we'll be back after Business Online. Okay, thank you very much. We're back online. Hello? Hello?
Hello?
Hi.
Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon to you, Mom.
I am so delighted to have gotten you.
Yes?
Yes, I...
Not any more delighted than I am for you to have been gotten by you.
Listen, first and foremost, I just want to say, keep up the good work for all our sakes. I, honest to God, am most impressed that you're the only voice of reason anywhere in the 144 square miles or whatever.
Are you serious? No, I don't think so.
I'm very serious.
That can't be true.
I'm old enough to be serious, trust me. Okay. Here is my situation today, Mr. Perkins. Is there any way I can get a hold of Dr. Honus of the RGD? Because I've got a problem with, you see, I have 2 adult kids who are Jamaican by birth. They are out of the country at the moment, but I'm trying to source passports for them. Because if you now travel on any other passport and come into any of the airports, that you get probably a couple of weeks to stay, and that's it. No questions asked.
Yes, you get a couple of weeks to stay.
Yes.
But the question is whether a Jamaican citizen can be, if they come into the island and they overstay, I don't think that they can be put out of the country.
I don't think so either. But you know, I'm just another one of these people who is trying to do the quote-unquote right thing here.
Yes.
Because I myself had been traveling on another passport.
It's difficult to do the right thing in Jamaica, you know.
I know it doesn't. Believe me again, Mr. Perkins, I am old enough to know, but you know, some of us are so old that we keep trying.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Anyhow, I wondered whether or not I could get in touch with Dr. Honus, and I'll tell you what the problem is. One of my kids, they're grown people now. His first name is Dale, and so I went up to get to ask for them to do the required birth certificate. And they have his first name spelled as Dole. I said to the agent who was, processing this, I said to her, no, what can I do about it? She says, I can go, do deed poll. I mean, Mr. Perkins, I never registered my son as Dole. And I really
What's
don't
his name?
think it's
Dale?
my responsibility. So I just wondered if Mrs. Honus could do something about that. For me, it's quite serious.
Hold on a bit.
Put on his passport.
Did he ever have a Jamaican passport?
He did have a Jamaican passport, but as a child. And I don't have it in my hand. That's the problem here.
You don't have it in your hand?
No.
But what? Is a copy of it available somewhere?
You know what?
I mean,
guess
is
going
the
to have
passport...
In other words, it's no sense talking to Mrs. Honus. Is that what I'm hearing?
No. No, I'm just saying that if he had a passport in the name of Dale, then there must have been a birth certificate.
Yeah.
A corresponding birth certificate.
They searched for the birth certificate. You see, I don't have any of that on me because, like
and
I said,
what it would have meant is that when they were transferring it to the new birth certificate system, that the mistake was made.
Right.
Right? So then it would be just a matter of them correcting it.
Well, this is what I thought. And when I said that to the lady, she says, this is what is going to be on his passport. I said, but that's not his name. And he's had a previous passport. I have even, before the new birth certificate started, I was able to get a birth certificate for him. Not the original, like a second one, and it had Dale on it. So, it's their error, and I just wondered why I am the one who has to do something about it.
No, I don't think you should.
Okay, then.
I don't think you should.
Is there any way I can talk to Mrs. Honus? Or
Yes, I'm sure that if you call her, she'll speak to you.
Yeah, but it's so difficult. But can you give me her number? I guess I'll wait offline and get it.
But the thing is this, that they get away with these things because people do not take the fight to them.
Anything about it, I know.
Right? And maybe the thing to do, I keep telling people to get a lawyer.
I hear you.
Right?
I totally hear you.
But I certainly think that is the way to go about it.
And that was my...
Right?
You see, we always get caught, and we're the ones who have to walk the plank, and I'm sick and tired of it. I really am. So I just thought I'd go straight to the source and say to Dr. Honus, what can you do about it? Because they had me, I'm trying to get it in a hurry because he's due to come back to Jamaica soon.
Yes. And they dig money out of you,
Of course
see.
they dig.
It's one of the government's chief funding agencies, I'm sure.
To search it. And the person who wrote that up, I went and paid the $100, showed me to somebody else who researched it right there. I was told 3 to 5 working days.
Yes.
So in 2 seconds, I had done 3 days. Got the thing, my $100 is down the tube, and then she very kindly processed it, but this woman gave me the information where his name is spelled Dole. Now, if anybody has any grain of sense in their head, they would have heard what a Dole might be.
Yes.
It is not a man's name. I don't think anybody else is named Dole.
I never heard of that.
And so if I could
But
just
if you could find that old passport.
I know where it is, but it's not here in Jamaica. This is
fine.
my problem.
Well, just retrieve it. Get it.
Okay then.
Right?
That's my best bet, eh?
Yes. Talk to a lawyer, right? And then he will tell you that he needs that passport as evidence.
Okay.
Of what the child was registered as.
But I'll tell you something else now. I have gone and paid for the express service, which is 3 days' time, and I guess I'll be getting my son's, birth certificate with the name Dole on it. And
tell them you don't want that.
Okay.
Tell them the name is...
But I did already, know, so I guess if I spoke to Mrs. Honus, at least she could do something about it, I hope.
Maybe so, but try that.
Yeah.
But ultimately, what you're prepared to do is take the matter to the Privy Council. Right?
All right. And like I said, I don't have that kind of time. The problem here is that I don't have that kind of time. And I thought going directly to to Dr. Honus, she might be able to, persuade whoever made the error to undo it and to just let me have what I need.
Yes, all right.
So if I can get her number, sir.
Hold on for a moment and we'll give you a number. Okay? Hold on. Hello? Hello?
Hello.
Hello?
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon to you. Are you sleeping? We take a break. We come back shortly. Okay, thank you very much. We're back on line. Hello? Hello?
Good morning. Good afternoon, Monty.
Good afternoon, sir. How are you?
I'm good. Mr. Perkins, did you see that article in the newspaper yesterday about the gentleman in Trenchtown, the one that was living...
Would you speak up a bit for me? Which gentleman in Trenchtown?
Article? Hello?
Yes, I'm listening.
Yes, I asked you, did you see that article in the news in the Gleaner yesterday about that gentleman in Trenchtown?
What about him?
The one about him, he was 65 years old and he's been living underneath
he was what?
Tent for the last he's living underneath a tent for the last 10 years.
Oh no, I didn't see that.
Yes, man, and even through like the various hurricanes, that's where he has been living for the last 10 years.
Yes.
My point, Mr. Perkins, is when the government talks about poverty alleviation, how does all the new programs that the Prime Minister has presented, whether that be the dipping into the NIS funds or the work...
When the government talks about what? Poverty alleviation?
Yes. How does that reach... How does those programs reach down to a gentleman like him?
Let me ask you something. You heard the Prime Minister talk about human rights, the termination of human rights abuses, didn't you?
Mm-hmm.
That was her first commitment to the Jamaican people, wasn't it?
Yes.
Have you heard of it?
That is exactly so.
Have you heard
That is exactly so.
Have you heard of these policies reaching down to the people who are frequently at the butt end of human rights abuses?
But isn't that what poverty alleviation is all about, though?
Yes, sir, but where is the poverty alleviation?
That is what I'm calling to ask you about, Mr.
Well,
Perkins.
I don't know. I don't see any poverty alleviation occurring on any.
Because according to the Gleaner yesterday, he's actually a pensioner, used to work at KSAC for something like 10 years or so, so he's getting pension now. So how does someone like him actually, he's 67 years old, living underneath a tent, how does...
And he's on a KSAC pension. And he probably is also he's probably also getting an NIS pension.
Yes, he's getting an NIS. So I mean, I'm
the NIS pension, I don't think it's likely that the NIS pension will be able to buy him, will be enough to buy him food for the week. Right?
He says he only lives off, he only boils porridge once a day. That's his meal.
Yes.
So I'm just calling because I'm curious as to how does the economic policy, inflation is down to single digit. And we're building a lot of hotels. How does these developments reach down to a person like him? and I would love for someone in government to answer that.
It clearly does not. Right?
So what are we going to do, Mr. Perkins? Because for one of him, there's another 1,000 people out there.
Yes, that's quite true.
So what are we going to do?
Well, sir, I don't.
Maybe you, Mr. Perkins, maybe you can invite one of the policy analysts or the policy makers onto your program to talk about it, because this. When I read the thing in the paper yesterday, I said, well, all these new announcements, but how does it reach down to someone like him? Maybe you can invite one of them to come on your program to address. Maybe the new the Taking Responsibility group could talk about that. Maybe that's what they should be talking about.
I don't think it's likely that they're going to be anxious to come,
So is it safe to assume that someone like him will just continue to be the way he is until he dies?
Well, a lot of people have found themselves in that position in this country, sir. A hell of a lot of them. And indeed, in worse conditions than that. Some of them have got tents to live under.
That's true. Maybe we need to just wrap up here.
Like there was a story on the television last night, was it, about people living under a bridge?
Yeah. So Perkins, I want to keep up your time, but I just figured I'd call you to bring that to your attention, and maybe someone out there in government is listening and can answer that question
indeed.
first.
All right, sir. Thank you very much. Hello? Hello? Hello?
Hello?
Yes, good afternoon to you.
Good afternoon, Mr. Perkins.
Yes, ma'am.
I'm just calling to comment on the lady that called before about our birth, our son.
I'm not hearing you very well.
Hello?
Yes.
Yes, I'm just calling to make a comment on the lady that talk about the birth certificate.
Yes.
Because I was in that position at one time.
Yes.
I applied for my son's birth certificate, and it came back. His name is Don Ricardo, and it came back as Don Vicardo.
Don what?
Don Vicardo.
Zicardo.
Right. To pay to get it corrected.
And what?
I had to pay to get it corrected.
You're joking, man.
Although I had a passport, I have everything, christening paper, everything in Don Ricardo.
You had a passport in his name?
Yeah.
And you had to pay to get it corrected?
I have to pay to get it correct.
Why did you pay?
Because they said that is the only way I could get it as Don Ricardo.
No, man. No, ma'am. No. Obviously, if he had a passport in the correct name, then it means that he had a birth certificate with that name.
Right.
And that when they were transferring that information to the new birth certificate system,
that is where it went wrong.
Absolutely. So why should you pay for that?
And to get it, they have to pay. I go there on one occasion, a call, and they give me these forms, say, well, I have to get them full out and come back and pay.
You know why they do that to you? Because they figure that you're not going to have the money to pay a lawyer to take the matter to the courts. Right?
Yes, well, yes.
So they can get away with it.
I couldn't afford the lawyer to take it, because that I was saying. That's why we Jamaicans have to deal with these things.
Yes.
Right? And I end up paying over $4,000 because I put it on Express because I wanted it.
Yes.
And with that, and I still didn't get it. I have to use, his grandmother had a copy in Miami. I have to send for it to get it to use for what I wanted to. It took 1 year before I even get it correct with the Don Ricardo on it.
Yes, well, if you had taken them to court Right?
Yes, Mr. Perkins.
Might have taken God knows how much time. But you see, the point is this, that agencies like that get away with these things in Jamaica. And so they continue to do them.
Right, yes.
Right?
On more than one occasion, I hear people calling about the same thing.
Yes, all the time.
Yeah.
Right?
And I say the system, the new birth certificate, and who's doing the entry, making the mistakes, and then we have to pay for it.
Yes. It's a process of exploiting people.
Yeah.
Right? And they must be among the chief fundraisers of the government, you see?
Yes.
They contribute immensely to the consolidated fund, I'm sure.
Yes, Mr. Okay.
Okay.
Thanks, and I listen to your program, and hope the best for the new year.
Okay, thank you very much, and the very same to you.
Yeah, thanks.
Okay, hello? Hello?
Hello.
Yes, sir.
Yes. Afternoon, Mr.
Good afternoon to you.
Call to tell you, today is an anniversary up in the States of the Roe versus Wade ruling on abortion.
Oh, yes, is that so?
Yes, and 47 million babies have been aborted since the decision. And
47 million?
47 million.
Babies have been aborted?
Yes, and 99% of these abortions between 1980 and 1998 have been just because it was an inconvenient.
How many babies? 47 million?
Yes.
Oh, hell.
47 million.
But the United States population is now up to 300 million.
Yes. But 99%, you're hearing the percentage? 99% between 1980 and 1998 of those abortions was because the pregnancy was just inconvenient.
Inconvenient.
You know? And there are some here in Jamaica that want to legalize this abortion. And I don't think they know whether or not they will be legalizing murder.
Well, I don't know that it is necessarily
That's
murder,
right.
sir.
Nobody can absolutely say, you know.
No.
Because we
But
don't
look here,
know.
I have a strong feeling
Yes.
that a woman ought to have a right to determine what she's going to allow in her own body.
Freedom is not the same as license, you know.
I beg your pardon?
Freedom is not the same as license.
No, I'm not.
There's a radical difference between the two.
Yeah, maybe so. But what I'm
Freedom
saying
is the power to do what you ought to do, not what you want.
Look, sir. A woman ought to have, in my view, the right to
do whatever she wants.
What she is going to allow in her own body. Not in your body or somebody else's.
But
in her body.
You believe that she owns the unborn in her? She owns it?
It's not a matter of owning the unborn, sir. It is a matter of owning her own body.
You don't believe human life must be protected from the moment of conception?
No, I don't think it should be necessarily be protected from the moment of conception.
You don't think the fruit of conception is as equal to you and me?
Look, sir. The woman has her body. She has a right to determine what she's going to allow in it. Right?
Well, we have to disagree on that. You know,
well, all right. That's fine by me.
I believe direct abortion is always wrong.
It's one thing to abort a baby of 6 or 8 months old. Right? It's another thing at the moment of conception to decide that she's not going to have this child. Right? And I think that parents should take a responsible approach to the business of bringing children into the world.
Yes,
right?
And all that must take place before.
So no.
Concept?
Childbearing should not be accidental. Right? A parent should have, and in particular a woman, should have a child when she wants to have that child and is prepared to take the responsibility of bringing up that child.
But one can't engage in all the activities that lead to such results. And then when it happens, say you're going to cop out.
Don't talk rubbish. Sex is not just a matter of having children, sir.
What is one of the primary purposes of it?
I don't know about that, sir. Sex is pleasurable. And if
that's not the primary purpose.
But I don't understand what you mean by that.
Well,
if the creator of this world intended sex to be merely a matter of reproduction,
then
he wouldn't have made it as pleasurable as it is.
But I said primary, I didn't say
Yes,
married.
all right. Anyway, you have your view, I have mine.
Yes,
Thank you very much. Incidentally, in China, there is a policy where families are allowed one child. In rural areas of China, there is a preference for boys, and therefore girl babies are being, aborted, or something done after they're born, they drown them or whatever. And it is estimated that in a short while there will be something in the region of 33 million young men of marriageable age for whom there will be no women for them to marry. Okay, that brings us to the end of Perkins Online for today. We'll be back, we hope, tomorrow, usual time, usual place, and we look forward to your company. So long.